Hey guys, we're back again with a little bit more of this base tutorial. We're up to like 6. I'll probably upload another one tonight with the actual water effects in it. I know the last video I said this is Land's End, but going to have a little bit of this video is going to have a little bit more of the land work in it, and setting up the dams for the water effects. And then I'll be back later on tonight with the water effects and working with them. So here's this step. Be more coming. Okay guys, here we go. Just to sort of catch you up to current. What I've done here since the last video, as you can see, I've taken base coated my ground with used to use the cheap old Kelly green from just used a cheap old Kelly green from Folk Art to put down to my base coat. Now once I got my base coat down, also from Folk Art, they had this basically a cherry stain, and it says it on somewhere, stains, yeah, cherry stain, sort of like wash, but just something to give it some brownish texture to it. See, underlying brown there. Then I went over it again with a mixture of the Kelly green Folk Art and this old apple green, which is a real light green. I mixed them up about 50-50, just whatever I had left of the Kelly. I just put that on top of it, mixed it up, and give it the little highlight over top of the stain, and sort of give it that patchy, earth dirt look, so that when you apply your flock or your grass or whatever you're going to do, you have a nice base green color underneath of it. For places where like the grass is not sticking or whatever, it's not going to show through this white like down in here. It's just going to show through green instead. Also took and went around the inside of the where the night's going to set to give it just a little bit of a shadow there, so that when you put the miniature in, you don't see the white base all the way around underneath. And I also went through and give it this black edge, because remember back when I did the last video, when I sealed it, this sort of misted a white, so it didn't look good. So I went ahead and just put this band on it, so that when the case sits together, it'll look okay. But like I said, and then after I did that, I went ahead and sealed it again with a sealer, just like for any paint, so that this is good and solid now. And sorry about that. That catches us up to date for this part. I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to show you what the part I think a lot of you have been waiting for is back here at the water effects. I'll be putting in the water effects. What we're going to do is, where we don't want this, right along the lip here, where we don't want the water, the glue or the epoxy that I'm using, to go all the way out to the base, so that the lip of the case can fit down in here. What we're going to do is we're going to take some plastic cardboard or whatever, and we're going to make a dam. We'll start it here, down in the slot here, bring it down, tape the corner, bring this side down, tape that corner, and bring it across the back, so that it's got a nice place to set, and also will allow the lip of the case here, this case here, to fit down inside the display base. And the way we keep the resin or whatever from sticking to the plastic card or cardboard or whatever you're going to use for your dam, take you some petroleum jelly, Vaseline, whatever you want to call it, and put it on a Q-tip and just sort of put it around the edge. And that will basically not adhere to the resin, so that you can slip the cardboard back out once the resin is set up, and you'll still have your water effect going through. I'd like to give a little thanks to Asjara for showing me the trick with petroleum jelly, or Vaseline. And when I come back, I'll have cut me some cardstock, laid it in here, and started taping and getting it ready for the next step. So I'll be right back for the next step. Okay guys, basically here I can see where I sort of gooped in the Vaseline. You want it in there pretty good so that you got a good release. And like in this case, I've got this base going around the edge, so you won't see any of that, and the water line will actually set below the base, so you won't see any of this roughness back in here. And even on, like say, if you would do it with a miniature where you're going to see back in the water, basically what I did was I just took the Q-tip, covered it in Vaseline, and just worked it back there, and that's going to grease up the cardstock. And like I said, sorry about the noise, the camera's shaking, let it catch up with me here. See, I did it all the way around. Oops, sorry. Give a nice little, see, like right here. Sorry about the blurry camera, guys. Did a little spot. And there you go. Basically I used, like I said, some Q-tip. And for the bigger stuff, I took this little sculpting tool just as a shovel. Will also work. You just oh, camera's going all over the place. Sorry guys. And you just sort of work again. Oops, sorry. Against your form, so now you got a release agent. Some important parts you got to do. Excuse me. Some important things. The corner. You want that really easily moved, because that's going to be a good sticking point. So make sure you got some in the corners, and also along the edge. See this down along the bottom? That's also would be a hard sticking point. Without those points, this other right here along the edges should be enough to allow the figure, or the cardstock, to come out. Also, back here at the edge, you want to make a little dam structure out of the Vaseline to make sure it's not draining down around your dam. Sorry guys. So you also did it in here, so that's sort of sealing the dam. Back here along the edge. Sorry, but basically that gets you. Let me get this. There you go. And that'll get you to that step right there. Be back in a moment, and we'll start throwing in the. Oops, sorry, camera's all over the place. Back in a moment, we'll start throwing in some water effects. Be right back.